Good morning, everyone. We're back with more Barnstable this morning. I'm Sarah Colvin, and live in studio, Town Manager Tom Lynch. Tom, good morning.
Good morning. Did you have a nice weekend?
I did, and how about you?
Not too bad at all. You know, I did want to cover for our viewers though something happened on Friday. It was the 125th anniversary celebration of the old Selectmen's Building out in West Barnstable. West Barnstable used to be the economic hub of the town of Barnstable, and with the meeting house just up the road, they had decided that they needed a place where they could meet and begin to formulate different policies for the town. So the Selectmen's Building was built 125 years ago. The last council, Councilor Daley and others, did a lot of work to secure funding to renovate the building. They completed that, and they wanted to have a celebration of all of that work. So I was there with former selectmen, and there were just a few who couldn't make it, but there were enough from, I guess, Jack Alma, who was elected back in 1966, was the longest serving one who had been there, and then they did a very nice presentation for Mary Montagna, who was elected in the mid-70s, I believe 75, and she was, it was her 90th birthday. Wow. on July 17th, so they kind of combined the two, and there was a nice presentation for that. And she gave a very touching kind of memoir of why she got into to run for public office, and related it to the way her father and her family have been treated as immigrants. And it was a very, very moving ceremony overall. Had a picture with the two former and current town managers.
Yes.
Warren Rutherford, who was the first town manager, was there. And, Mr. Tinsley had passed away. He was the second town manager. John Klim came over to the celebration. It was nice to see John again. And of course I was there, so we had that photo to take. And then all of the former selectmen and all of the former and present town councils got together for a photo. So there was, I should say also, I got the T-shirt to prove I was there. There's a nice, they did a really nice kind of that greenish, that antique green of the nice color of the building, with a 375th logo on the front, and then a nice picture of the Selectmen's Building on the back. So, as you might imagine, there was a lot of swapping of stories of the issues of the day.
I can imagine.
When I was there, so it was a lot of and you can remember that one group might have been dealing with the implementation of Proposition 2.5, and someone else might have been dealing with some of our growth issues that we had. So it was a lot of good cheer. Jeff Wilson was there, who was one of the last selectman groups, the group that was there, and he's presently a state representative in Vermont. So it was a lot of good organization went in by the steering committee and the West Barnstable Historical Commission, and it was really overall very, very well done.
Great, and wonderful to get everyone together. It's really, really great.
Well, it just kind of fit the village. It was just one of those celebrations where if you were driving by, you'd say, "Oh, I wish I was up there." And the public was invited, and it was a very nice turnout. So I think that everyone enjoyed themselves.
Excellent, and of course, this weekend as well, I know Osterville celebrated the 100th anniversary of the Weano Senior, and I saw some really amazing pictures of those beautiful boats. They did kind of a little run of the boats in Osterville, just absolutely beautiful.
I was sorry I missed that, because it was kind of a one, to get them all together like that. There'll be some boats that won't be around, be sold, or be moved around, but to have that many boats there, I think there were between 40 and 50 vessels, and it was really, some friends who went said it was, really, quite classic. As a matter of fact, I understand Dan Santos had a chance to go over a DPW director, so when you're interviewing him tomorrow,
we'll have to ask him about that.
What were your impressions of that, Dan, and see how it went. And the other thing that happened this weekend that I know you went over to, and I was able to kind of see from a distance was the Love Live Local Fest.
Yes.
And well attended?
Very well attended. I was there at the beginning, and then at the end, kind of ducked the rain a little bit for sure. But some wonderful local musicians.
Did they work right through the?
They did. They did work right through
rain?
the rain. My friend Bill, who's a drummer, one of the performers, said he had one of those easy ups in his car, put it up over his drum kit, was able to perform through the rain. So that everybody works with it and has a good time, and it was really wonderful.
Well, they use all of Hazleton Park.
Yep.
And there's a place for kids, and there's the food trucks, and there's all of the local artists and artisans that have set up their wares, and it's a lot of good local stuff, and visitors can see it, and locals can get out too and see what we have to offer. So.
That's right, and really standing on the hill, looking over the vista of Hazleton Park, all full of activity, and seeing the harbor in the background it's nice.
Very nice.
It's pretty.
I did want to talk just a little bit about and congratulate DPW Director Dan Santos and our legal department and others who all worked on the solid waste contract. As you know, we announced on Thursday that we'll be going with New Bedford Solid Waste Services, also known as ABC. They were at the workshop that the town council sponsored. Dan Santos went through a very thorough analysis of what the contract says, but as you might imagine, this contract was months in the making. And it started out with a situation where we were going to just deal with one vendor, and that vendor kind of wanted to sew people up very early on and was doing it individually rather than as a group. So you didn't know who was getting what and how it was all working out. Then ABC came onto the scene really at the same time that I think the county had tried to work regionally and had also brought in other southeast towns into the picture. Once the competition came in, the whole nature of the contract negotiations changed, and Dan did a very good job of looking after our town's interests, and the company we're going to go with does a lot with recycling. There was a lot of discussion at the town council workshop also about recycling, what our transfer station should look like. And I think, as Dan rightly pointed out, we've got a master plan study underway. So whether we go with a single stream for recycling, we've just got one bag where everything's in there and put that in, will all be things that the company can handle. And there'll be things that we'll try to see if we work into our master plan over the next year or so. So I've prepared the contract itself with legal. We hope to bring that intend to bring that to the next town council meeting on August 7th, so we can wrap that matter up.
Great, and so again, if approved, that will go into effect in January.
January
correct?
1st.
Great, and I think the idea of possibly having single stream recycling, I think a lot of people are excited about that.
Well, and there's some policy decisions I have to make around different ways that the pricing happens now. So that'll give us time between now and when we set the actual fee in early or late fall for so people can know what they're going to be paying for their transfer sticker.
Great. So. Anything else you've got for us today?
I just want we talk about the summer. Last week was an extremely busy week.
It was very
busy
week.
A lot going on. But, I've got a meeting, this week where I'm going to be talking about the U.S. Custom House lease and also the JFK, or the new town hall over on Main Street where the JFK is located, an extension of that lease. They're both coming up next year, but this is a chance for our purchasing department to go over and start thinking about what terms we'd be looking at. So they're always trying to plan months ahead because they want to give potential bidders lots of time to do that. One of the meetings we had last week was with the JFK Museum, and I learned a lot about their hopes, fears, and dreams for expansion over there. They get 70,000 visitors a year.
Wow.
And they compared that with the Presidential Museum, which gets about 200,000. So it's really a very vibrant and active space, and people want to learn about what were the Kennedy years like down here. And I think to preserve that and to be looking forward to the fact that you're going to be dealing with generations who have no contact or no context to put the Kennedy years in.